Being a good steward of the land is just learning from the desert itself, and it continues to educate me after being here for 21 years, and hopefully it will always do that.
We always say that we've got a menage a trois going, because it's Max and me and the land. And we just fall in love more every year. When we realized we were gonna be out here full time, I just said to Max, just make it green for me.
And since then, we've been developing it little by little.
Yeah.
Just preserving every little piece of green, or every cacti, or anything that looked like, oh, this is wonderful, it's beautiful, I can't have them come in and grade it.
First landscaping we did was actually just cleaning out the dead. And you would discover a beautiful little altar of this kind of bush next to this kind of bush, which we called a marriage, and there'd be a rock behind it. And suddenly you had a beautiful little something just from cleaning out the dead.
In 2006, there was a terrible fire that wiped out about 80 square miles of this beautiful terrain, and we lost probably 20 of the 22 acres of the vegetation here, and it was nothing but ash. It was devastating at the time. And miraculously, everything started coming back from underground, which we had no idea that it would come back so wonderfully.
It grew back. It took a few years of a lot of rain. So by the spring of 2010, we had our paradise back. Some of the plants that we have in profusion are the oaks. We pretty much put our house in the middle of an old growth oak forest, because I happen to love oaks. We have a lot of desert almond. We got cholla, of course. We got different kinds of cacti. We've got a lot of yucca, a lot of indigo. We have a little indigo forest out there.
Prior to the fire, we had probably well over 200 Joshua trees, and we probably lost 150 of those or so. But the babies are coming back for the most part, and all of them. Sometimes multiple babies will come around a burnt Joshua tree or fallen Joshua tree. As far as our water goes, we still get hauled water after all of these years, and so we're very frugal with our water use, catching as much rainwater as we can. We put buckets and barrels around so we can get the runoff from any rain that we might get, and just being as mindful and as frugal as we can with any water that we get, especially when we get hauled water. We put in the solar and said, well, how about wind also? So we explored that. And so that was our first foray into renewable energy, and it's worked out great.
We became rock hounds the moment we arrived here. We didn't know that we were going to be, but we have the most amazing variety of rocks and stones. So we just took advantage of it. So you'll see rock work all over the property.
Rocks and boulders contain water.
They hold water.
They hold water in them. So whatever water you get, there will be more moisture underneath them. And it will also help to hold a little island in together, so you can make little areas of artistic spaces for your vegetation.
So we call our 22 acres High Desert Eden because it's paradise to us. And every year we fall more and more in love with it. All you have to do is to kind of do a 360 around you, and everywhere you look is paradise.
The advice that I would give for people who want to come out and just get a piece of land and start to develop it is, please do not come in and blade all the vegetation is there. Try to avoid rushing into overdeveloping a land and clearing it out completely because you fear it. Just take your time. Be at one with the land for a while. Let it talk to you. Let it speak to you, because it will.